But the Nile at Aswan sells itself, cool and luminous. And the tourists flow steadily off the buses, usually middle-aged. In the old days, the English called Aswan the prettiest place in Egypt. And its taxi system was built for English gentlemen. It was an Englishman who built Aswan's Cataract Hotel at the turn of the century. The old hotel looks stiffly down on the new cataract, concrete, glistening and unfinished, designed for the North American trade. Room and board, there's nowhere else to eat in Aswan, will cost just twice as much again. But it's still the same Nile below the bedroom window, and it's the same Nile for the German tourists who'll have their own high Aswan Hof. But someone will have to build a bridge to reach it, unless they all go by sailing boat. The Egyptians hope it'll soon be the smart thing to stop over in Aswan and sample the new casino and coffee shops. The whole river bank is putting on a new westernized face. High on the hill, there's something else again. The tomb of the late Aga Khan, another of Aswan's admirers. Well, Aswan has been a tourist center almost from the very beginning. The first settlement here was on an island in the middle of the Nile called Elephant Land. So called perhaps because it was there that the first Egyptians saw their first elephants, or even more perhaps where the first Nubian curio dealers sold the Egyptians their first elephant tusks. A famous Egyptian explorer called Herkhuf was buried here around about 2000 BC. His most brilliant exploit was to go straight into the heart of Africa and bring back a small pygmy tribesman for his king to see. And it said that the pharaoh was so tickled by this dwarf that he actually wrote a letter to Herkhuf thanking him. And the explorer was so proud of this that he had the letter inscribed on his tomb here in Aswan. About 200 BC, and probably on a package guided tour, the Greek philosopher Eratosthenes saw here in Aswan that at midsummer the sun cast no shadow in a well here in the town, whereas at Alexandria it cast a measurable shadow, and from this he calculated the circumference of the earth. This was Aswan's first scientific discovery, that the world was round, but of course it was promptly forgotten. So the Greeks were here, the Romans were here, and the British were here, military visitors. Grenfell defending the border of Egypt against the Sudan, Gordon pressing on south to Khartoum, and Kitchener building one of his main bases here at the first cataract before going on with his full force to the Battle of Omdurman. Where Kitchener loaded guns and puttees and bully beef, the Aswan porters now hump suitcases for tourists going upriver.